Hello, this is Jeff Al Gilbert, and welcome to my live call tonight. And it comes with a question: how many people do I have to put in to see results? And for those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing for over 40 years. I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. That was almost 28 years ago. I've been full-time ever since, 28 years. So I'm going to acknowledge some wonderful people joining tonight. Whoever wants to come out of the shadows and announce yourself. Hey, Michael Smith in Texas, good to see you. And John Perez in Miami. Rocio in California, how are you doing? Good to see you. I hope all is well in your world. I'm doing it from my gym. I've finally needed to get down here and do some exercise, and I was enjoying that sauna. Oh my gosh, was that good. Arlene from the Philippines, nice to see you. And Yilda, nice to see you. Don't know where you're from, but hello. Nice to see you on the call tonight. And Danny, good to see you, my friend. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your summer. For those of you that get on in the Philippines, it's always summer there, right? That's a thing over there. You don't have seasons. Oh, Yilda says Miami. Okay, nice to. Do you know John Perez? He's in Miami. Anyway, good to see you on the call. And George in New York City. I hope you're doing well, George. I'll tell you, man, that New York City is going a little crazy right now, isn't it? Colewinder in Toronto. Yes, Toronto, Canada. Nice to see you on the call tonight. Yeah, I was just enjoying that sauna. Oh my gosh, throwing that water on the coals and just listening to some spa music just before getting on this call. So I'm going to try to wake myself up. Wake up, Jeff. Daisy, good to see you. So I normally do this at 9, but I had to get my gym time in. I said, man, I got to do this. Anna in Coral Springs, Florida. Hope you're doing well. And hope everybody's doing good tonight. So this question comes up, right? Is always on people's minds when they join a network marketing company. Stephen, good to see you. And that is, how much time do I have to put in before I see results? Now, I want you to pay attention to those words, before I see results. Diane, nice to see you. Good morning. It is morning in the Philippines. And Sheila, good morning in the Philippines. When we focus on those words, before I get results. Indonesia, good to see you, my friend, Mr. Putro. See, I talked about this, if you remember, just, I don't know, a week and a half ago on onboarding people, the 3-7-30 method. 3 meaning 3 days, or your first 72 hours. 7 meaning your first week. 30, the big picture where you want that person to be. What's realistic? What happens with most people when they apply your system, then, But so when we talk about how much time do I have to put in before I see results, there is basically 2 ways to look at that. Again, going back to what I talked about, onboarding, that you want them to experience something positive because their excitement level is what? A 10. Their belief level is what? A 2. You got to move that 2 up some notches. So you got to help them sponsor their first person, right? Help them do that. You got to work with that person. Once their belief level moves up, so does their activity. So does their commitment. So how much time do I have to put in before I see results? Well, preferably your first week in the business. If you follow our system. If you follow our system, you'll see results. Does that mean you're going to be wealthy? No. Will that pay your house off? No. If you don't own a house, will you become a home owner? No. Not your first week, not your first month in the business. So, again, moving them up some notches, their first week in the business is critical. Helping that person to see by their efforts they're getting results. That's important. But we also know that people want to know, how much time do I have to put in before it really becomes a profession, before it really becomes my main source of income? Aha. See, that's also part of the question. It's a two-part question. That really, and that's what we have to understand. What people really, when they ask, that's what they're really asking. So again, to lock them in, or that takes a little time. You've got to get them to earning. I've heard people say anywhere from $300 to $500. You've got somebody locked in. They're going to stay in it. That's true. But tonight's message is going to be focused more on the big picture in becoming a full-time professional network marketer. And so here's the thing, everybody has different goals. My goals are not your goals. Hey, Russ, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Damati, good to see you in, I guess, Canada. Everybody has different goals. Again, going back to what I've said before, nobody can imagine twice what they're currently earning or believe it. So if somebody's earning $60,000 a year, anything beyond 120 sounds like a scam. So there's no point of just, blowing big numbers at people. The important thing is finding what people want. I remember Tony Robbins made a very, very good point with this. And he did that before the United States went crazy with COVID-19. And that was, I flew out to Idaho, and we had financial mastery there. He asked a very important question. He asked the question, he said, think of a number, and this was for platinum members, this event. So platinum members are people that pay $85,000 a year, and their expenses to go to these events, fly out, hotel, all that. You might as well just double the figure. It's about $150,000 a year commitment to be a platinum member. Anyway, just letting you know who's in the room, okay? So it's not like thousands were there, okay? And so, but he asked the people in the crowd, pick a number, a financial number of, what's going to make you, like you've accomplished something, that you're happy. And we had different numbers, I heard somebody say 5 million. If I can have 5 million, in retirement, I'm happy. Another person said 10. Another person said 500 million. Crazy numbers, right? And so he said, what is the number that, and then this was the second question. And along with that is, what is your security number? In other words, and that really was the question. What would make you happy? What would make you feel secure? Security means that, you got everything basically paid off, okay? Houses paid off, cars are paid off, whatever. Your last 4 wives, I'm joking, paid off, okay? The point is, where are you? And so when the guy said 500 million, and he went over to him, he says, well, how are you doing now on security? In other words, what would it take to make you secure? And it came down to $100,000 a month. And Tony said, well, why are you talking about 500 million, man? He said, this is the problem with all of you guys, okay? A lot of you have arrived and you don't even know it. Well, there's no question. Anytime somebody pays for a platinum membership, they got some good things going on in their life financially, in their businesses, right? And And so, but you know, it really struck me because I thought to myself, he's right. I arrived a long time ago. So, you know, it brings gratitude into, like, are you grateful? Do you understand what you've already accomplished? But the thing is, this is not about me. This call is about you, okay? Because there are many people like myself or have done maybe not, you know, as well as me, but they've arrived. They really have. So when we ask how much time do I have to put in before I see results, before you arrive, before you are secure, there's not one answer because all your circumstances are different. See, if you have a bigger house than me, is that what it takes to make you happy? I don't think so. I don't think for most of you that's the case. I think the main thing is what you're looking for is state. A state where you feel you have everything you've ever wanted. And I'll tell you what, when things go really crazy, like they are in this world right now, we tend to look at really what makes us happy. Our relationship with God, our relationship with our family, people we care about, giving them value, things like that. Those are the most important things. And so we can't put it in monetary figures. But let's go back to monetary figures, because that's what this is really driving toward. Okay? And that is, so there's different ways to answer the question, how much time do I have to put in before I get results in terms of network marketing as my full-time career? Okay? And you remember before I've said that you will be either punished or rewarded for the life that you've lived prior to joining your network marketing company. And I get that from my great friend Bob Heilig. You will be either punished or rewarded for the life that you lived prior to joining your network marketing company. What do I mean? I'm talking about how you paid into relationships or did not pay into relationships. In other words, if you see some people that will take off in a company and they move through the ranks quick, and you got people who've been struggling for years. Why is that? And then they're looking at them, they say, well, you know, they're not that good looking, they're not that talented, you know, she's this or she's that, and you're scratching your head and you're going crazy, saying, where is the magic juice? Well, it's because that person paid into a lot of relationships in their lifetime. Maybe they did a lot of good things for people, served in a lot of causes in their community, who knows, in their religion, things like that. The point is they paid in. And just like a bank, if you pay in, then you can make what? Withdrawals. Withdrawals means those people join them. They call them up, hey, I got involved in something, I'm excited about it, I was thinking about you, hey, I'm in. They don't even know what they're joining yet. On the other hand, people that didn't pay into relationships, not that they're a bad person, they just didn't do that much engagement in that area, it's going to be slower for them. So in the way we answer the question, how much time do I have to put in before I see results? It just depends. The person that paid in is going to be rewarded for the life that they lived prior to joining their network marketing company. For those that didn't, they're going to be punished for the life they lived prior to joining their network marketing company, meaning it's going to be slower for them. Does it mean they can't be successful? No, not at all. Not at all. Sometimes it is what it is. If you remember what I said, when I started 21 years ago, I was in different companies with different leaders, some great people too. But a lot of them were burned out, destroyed emotionally when things didn't work out. And so when I joined my last company 21 years ago, no one wanted to go. They're all dead. So I was bankrupt. I couldn't make any withdrawals, right? So if you belong to the NFL club, no friends left, you know what I'm talking about. So that meant I had to start all over again. Where am I going to find these freaking people? Well, I went back into the crypt. and I found the ancient list. The pages were yellow, but they were people I called before that I haven't talked to in years. So you do what you got to do. I also ran ads. I did what I had to do to find people. The goal to get on the phone and talk to people, share a tool, follow up with them on that tool, and put them in. So the answer to the question, how much time do I have to put in before I see results, is it's going to be different with different people. There is no exact answer. But as I said in the beginning, I strongly encourage you to, when you sponsor somebody, you get a new leader, when you onboard them, that first week get something positive happening, because their belief level is 2, their excitement level is 10, and you want to move that 2 up some notches so you can keep them in the game long enough so that they can what? See results. See results in terms of becoming a professional in the network marketing industry, where this is where the majority of their income is coming from. It's the people that persist. They persist are the ones that win. But again, we have to have productive activity. Otherwise, you lose them along the way. They just give up. They lose faith. And that's what you don't want. That's what you don't want to see. So when we talk about making, these efforts, whether you paid into relationships or you did not, the word work in network marketing takes on a whole new definition. We got to understand what that means. And that means that's the quality of the effort in the time given that determines the outcome. I'll say it again. It's the quality of the effort in the time given that determines the outcome. So, in other words, when you show up big. You show up committed. You show up with an agenda. You have priorities. Those are very important to you. Here's a problem I see with a lot of people that join in the network marketing profession. It's gone on for years. I see this all the time. They sponsor a few people, and then they go into the management mode. Yeah. They keep calling the same people that they've already recruited, like they're trying to recruit them again, right? Hey, I know I recruited you yesterday, but I'm going to do it again today. And tomorrow, I'm going to do it again. But it's like trying to convert a Christian to Christianity, okay? Let me explain things. You have to build their faith from that point. They're already in. They're already converted. You got to build their faith. That's why the apostle said to Jesus, give us more faith. They were already converted. They just needed more faith, okay? It's a lot like that with your leaders. People that you onboard, it's like that. But then what we try to do is we try to manage them. We try to, some people want to take a chicken and put an eagle costume on them and put a mirror in front of them and say, look at the mirror and say, I am an eagle, I am an eagle, I am an eagle, I am an eagle. They're not an eagle, they're a chicken, man. You got to know what you got, and you got to play in reality. So that means if they're a chicken, then okay, we need chickens. Eagles eat chickens, right? Okay? You need to go find some eagles. That is people who want more in life. They're willing to commit to that. That's all you got to do. So the thing is, I had the conversation with the leader the other day about that. And she has a fairly new team and some good people on that team, but she's only sponsored a few. Now, those good people, they only sponsored a few. But they all have one thing in common. They're in management. I said, no, you got this all wrong. I want you to understand this. Every 7-figure earner out there is sponsored somewhere. I hear different figures. 75, we'll say, to 150 people max. 75 to 150 people max. Me, I sponsored 72. And for 15 years, I didn't sponsor anyone else. What I did was I worked in depth, not management. I work through my leaders to find my leaders, to find better leaders. And then when I find those better leaders, I work through those leaders to find better leaders. And when I found those leaders, I work through those leaders to find better leaders. I drove those legs deep. Why? Because that's how you create massive income in network marketing. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's what we call taprooting. I want to stay focused on this, that what we have to understand is the work in network marketing is just doing the numbers, and we got to understand it is doing the numbers. I don't care how good looking you are. I don't care how educated you are. I don't care how talented you are. You cannot circumvent the system. You cannot circumvent the reality. You will have to pay the price, sweetie. I don't care how pretty you are. There's some very not so pretty people that are very rich in network marketing because they paid the price. They did the numbers. You're going to have to do the numbers. And that's what I told that one, that leader. I said, listen, you got some great leaders. As a matter of fact, these girls are very pretty. Very talented. And they haven't done the numbers. Well, they sponsor 4 or 5 people and they go in management. And you keep preaching to chickens. You can be eagles. Come on. Don't lie to them. Just pat them on the head, said, nice chicken. Now go find an eagle. Know what you got. That's the thing. So we have to have a system that when we prospect people, it's sort of, you women, you can appreciate this. You got a stove, right? On the stove, in your kitchen, you have basically 4 burners, right? Front burners, back burners. Your front burners might be for more serious things. I mean, your back burners are different. And they're all different temperatures, aren't they? But you really got to pay attention to your front burners, or your burners that are especially hot. And that's where you got to focus your time. So here's what I want you to do is understand the work in network marketing is quality of time put in so that you'll see a better outcome. And that is work with the ones who are serious. We spend too much of our time trying to convince the chickens they can be eagles. Or we're managing people. We don't need to do that. We simply need to do the numbers. And that is, 75. Is it worth it to be a 7-figure earner if you had to sponsor anywhere from 75 to 150 people? I hear people just moan and groan about that. Oh, they want to be successful. They want to be a millionaire in network marketing. I'm not saying you have to be a millionaire, but I'm saying if you want to be a 6-figure income earner, you're going to have to do the numbers. We want to manage these people, and then we want to get mad when they're not producing the kind of volume to create that kind of income for us. So that's the thing. So pay attention to what's hot. Pay attention to those people that are producing. They need your time, they need your help, but at the same time, you got your back burner. Those are people that maybe they've signed up, they haven't engaged yet, but they have potential. On the other hand, you got some people that you need to follow up with still that are not in, that have great potential. So those are the things that we want to do is focus on that. Focus on that. And learn how to balance our time with those people that are producing versus people you got to follow up with, also people that you've already onboarded and they have great potential. That's the thing. Income producing activities, that's what we want to do. So, for you new people, and maybe for some of you who have been in for a while, but you haven't done this, you need to fill out your contact list. I mean, fully fill it out. Don't prejudge. Don't decide who's worthy, who's not, who's probably already doing well, and who's not. You empty your head on a page or on a tablet where you can go to those names. You need to do that. Why? You're going to grow faster with people that you have what? Paid in relationships to. That's right. You're going to, even if it's people who are acquaintances, there's some still paid in factor to that. So you need to look at that and make that list if you haven't done that. And again, if you're like me, and like I said, 21 years ago when I started, I didn't have anybody to bring with me. So I had to, yes, I went to an old list. That's true. I went to that old list. And I started working that, but I also started doing some ads, things like that to find new people. Again, I want you to understand this and remember this. Consistency wins the game. It's not showing up and being spectacular now and then, or when we feel like it. I did it when I didn't feel like it. I did it when I hated it. I'll say that again. I did it when I hated it. But I went back to that desk. The desk was an old kitchen table is what it was that I had up in my room. But that's what I did. How do you create monotony? Or excuse me, I blew it. How do you create momentum? Through monotony. There you go. Doing the same old things over and over again, and you hate it, but you do it. You do it. I'm telling you, the people that have done so well in this are the ones that hated so much of what they did. And they question it many times, is this really going anywhere? It is, because you're doing the numbers. You got to do the numbers. So I remember it being said once. I went to a network marketing event. I won't say which, because I'm not disagreeing with this. But I remember a good friend of mine was doing a training on this, and she said, make an effort to reach out to 10 people a day. If that's 5 people in the morning, whatever social media platform you choose, doesn't matter. If it's going to be Facebook, if it's going to be Instagram, if it's going to be LinkedIn, whatever, okay? You're going to reach out to 5. Reach out to 5 can mean, sending a friend request, engaging with something they posted, whatever, or Facebook groups. Reach out to 10 a day. So we're talking about over 300 a month, being consistent. Consistency wins the game. Or 360 a year, or 3,600 a year, excuse me. So 3,600 a year. So if you use a figure like that, and then let's say if 10%, we're going to be very ultra conservative. I think it'd be better than that, much better than that. But if 10% agreed to look at your opportunity, you're looking at 30 a month, or 360 in a year over average, and if 50% agree to get on the phone, with good tools that you have, your closing ratio should be pretty decent. I remember the figure being said, you should sponsor within a year 180 people. Well, that falls into that range, 75 to 150. Again, being consistent, and we're not in a perfect world. So again, I don't like, I throw out those numbers because that leader, that friend of mine, threw out those numbers. But are those numbers perfect? Are they exact? Is it an exact science? Of course not. Of course not. I want you to remember this, and this is a quote Anthony Robbins said. He says, the difference between must and should is the life you want and the life you have. The difference between must and should is the life you want and the life you have. You got to want it. You got to do the numbers. That's the thing that you need to understand. And I understand if you make an effort to reach out to 10 people a day, that eventually that transitions into hundreds and hundreds of people. It's like, that's a different definition of insanity, right? Remember this, engage with those who engage. If they rarely get on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I'm not going to spend time with people like that. I don't even accept friend requests from people like that. If I get a friend request and I look, and the last time they posted something was 3 months ago, 4 months ago, they don't get on Facebook that much. What's the point of adding them to your network? You're adding dead wood to dead wood. And you probably need to clean up your own network. But what I'm saying is make an effort. These figures are fine. 10 a day. Put a Post-it note on your mirror. 10 a day. Get my 10. Where can you find them? A lot of times, think about this. Whatever your product or service is, what Facebook groups out there would find value in something like that? Those are the groups that you need to engage with, and engage with a lot of those groups. And again, don't spam, don't post about your product. The admin will kick you out. The purpose of going in those groups is simply to create some kind of relationship. You don't have to spend a long time on this. I'm not talking about endless rapport. You're not proposing. But where you engage with that person, you send them a friend request, you connect with them. That's it. And then you can, yes, see if they're open to what you do. That's the work in network marketing. And consistency wins the game. Doing the numbers creates great results. And you cannot circumvent the system or the reality that you will have to do the numbers. How many people will you have to connect with? How many people will you have to engage with before you sponsor 75 to 150 people? I have no idea. I wish I could give you a number. I would be like some of these guys who want to sell you a book, and I could lie to you, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to blow sunshine in your face. I'm going to ask you this, though. Is it worth it? If you ask me, is it worth it? I'm going to say, yes, it is. It was very much worth it because I've enjoyed all these years of freedom that I've had. But I knew that I could not circumvent the reality. I would have to do the numbers, and I would have to pay in that time. So the thing is, which platform you choose is up to you. I can remember one leader, she's into Instagram. She is a 7-figure earner. She did the 333 on Instagram. Find 3 people that she really likes, that has a following. And she says, it doesn't go by likes or hearts, okay? I mean, if she shows up and she's got half her clothes on, that, and she gets all kinds of guys that follow her, that doesn't qualify, okay? But she's looking for somebody who has a following, maybe somebody who's a blogger, things like that. And then she looks for that type of person every morning, spends a little time on it, find 3, engage with those 3, and consistently do that every 30 days or for a month, you could say. Anyway, the point is, she does it consistently, 3 every day. This other person said 10 every day. Here's the thing. I don't think there is a magic number. I think the important thing here is that you need to do enough of it. You need to do it consistently. And you have to engage with these people. And then you simply ask them the magical question, hey, are you open to taking a look at something that I'm doing? It may or may not be for you. You give them a way out. They appreciate you. They respect you for that. But as long as you use good tools and you do it consistently, then you're going to see the results. So how long will it take before you see results? Again, we want to onboard people, get those results in their first week, help them sponsor their first person. How long will it take results so that you could become a full-time network marketing professional? It really depends. How strong is your warm market? Have you paid into relationships? Okay, if you haven't, you're not a bad person. If you don't have people to bring over, I didn't. 21 years ago, I had to start, just had to call people that I haven't talked to in a long time or run ads, things like that. No guarantee on time, but I knew if I did the numbers and I did enough of the numbers in a given time, I would see an incredible result. So do those things. So I hope you got some value out of this and appreciate, hey, Shirley in Indonesia, good to see you. I hope you got some value out of this. You could share it to your people. Hopefully they would apply this. And again, here comes the commercial. If you haven't got my book on Amazon, Reaching the Peak, it's in English and Spanish. Anyway, thanks for joining me in my gym, and Friday is going to be a Q&A. Now, last Friday I didn't do it because it was a 4th of July weekend, and man, I could see everyone was not going to be around much. So I thought, well, they're not going to be around. Why should I be around? So anyway, I'll see you Friday for a Q&A and look forward to engaging with you then too. Thank you, Anna, Daisy, and all of you fantastic people for being on tonight.